I wanted to show you the coolest tool that I have. This is probably one of the most commonly used tools we have on our job site. It's called a multi-tool. Originally it was designed by a company called Fein, F-E-I-N, I believe. They came out with the first multi-tool. I don't know how many years ago that was, but it was probably 20 years ago. Well, since the patent ran out, several other companies have jumped into the ballgame. There's probably half a dozen companies out that make one of these. And I gotta tell you, I use this thing probably every day, just about every day, if not several times a day. And it does so many things well. The thing that I use it mostly for is cutting nails, cutting pieces of wood. This blade here vibrates back and forth, only about 1/8 of an inch, left and right, not even. When you turn it on, you can't even see it moving. It's such a high frequency. It goes up to like 20,000 oscillations per minute. It's called an oscillation. The thing I like about it is you can get right into a piece of wood, and you can come in at any angle, holding it with one hand, two hands, you know, off at a weird angle. You don't really need to be worried too much about control because it's such a smooth tool, and it cuts right in the wood, no problem. You can go up, down, you can go straight in. You can literally plunge right into the wood. It's crazy like that. It's pretty safe. You know, you can actually touch it while it's vibrating, and it won't cut you. It feels like a dental tool. If you're into that kind of thing, maybe that'd be good for your teeth. I don't know. The original one, this is the one I have right here. It's called an MX30e. 25, I think, stands for 2.5 amps. This one has 2.5 amps. Pretty ample amount of power. It's got a variable speed dial on the back here, so you can dial it down to 1, go really slow to start. Then once you get going, you can dial it up to 6 if you want. I usually keep it on 6. I like more power. Well, the other cool thing about it is it's got this pivoting cord in the back. See, it's like a little ball bearing, kind of pivots. I don't even know what the point of that is, but it's a good selling feature, right? It comes with several other things. It comes with like this really cool triangular sanding pad. So you put it on there, just take the blade off. This goes on there. You can get in the sharp corners with your sandpaper. It comes with a whole bunch of different sandpapers you can use. They sell tons of different accessories. This one's a scraper blade, so you can put that in there like this and just go down and scrape caulking off. You can, you know, kind of use it as an oscillating chisel. There's things like this, which it's got carbide on it, and it takes out grout lines. You can clean up grout lines about 1/8 inch thick. If you use it on really cheap tile that are budding almost, then this doesn't work. It's too thick. So they've got blades like this that will cut sheetrock. This one says wood and metal, but the one that cuts sheetrock looks just like this. I don't know what the difference is. You can't cut really hard metal with this. You know, you can only cut really soft metal, maybe like aluminum or soft steel. When you get into cutting like stainless steel or heavy steel, you need one of these blades. It's got the gold tip on it. It's made by a company called Imperial. These are really good blades. The blades, kind of expensive. They go for like $14 each. So let me show you how you take the blade off. Take this Allen wrench, put it in this little Allen key. You can actually rotate it 90 degrees. You know, you can rotate it at a lot of different angles, depending on which way you want to come in at the cut. And you can retighten that up, or you can just keep going with the Allen key, take it out, and then replace the blade altogether. I'm going to put this little chisel blade in. So the Allen key's kind of cumbersome. You know, you got to keep the key. You got to keep this Allen key handy. A lot of times we'll lose it. We'll put it down and forget where we put it. Put it in our tool belt. The next guy goes to use it, doesn't know where it is. So I get frustrated with that. Well, that's partly the reason why I got the new Bosch. The new Bosch, it's the MX30, and it's 30 stands for 3.0 amps. It's got a little more power than the other ones, about a ½ amp more. Half amp doesn't seem like much, but it's a little smoother. But looking at the tool, it's almost identical. I think the housing is the same. The new one's made in Switzerland, the old one was made in Malaysia. But here's the game changer right here. See this little lever right here? You lift that up, take the blade off. What is that, 1 second? Put the blade back on, switch the blades, lock it in. So you don't have to look for this key anymore. You've always got it right there. You know, it takes 2 or 3 seconds. In my business, time is money. Time's very important. When I'm spending time looking for a key or trying to undo a thing with an Allen wrench, that costs me a lot of time. Now this tool, it just feels really good in the hands. It's got a nice tapers off a little bit from the front to the back. It's got a nice rubber handle, several different spots, and no matter where you set it, the contact points are going to be rubber, so it's, you can set it on a nice wood countertop, you're not going to scratch it. So there are a lot of companies that make these. Some are better than others. I haven't tried them all. The Fine is, you know, it's a superior tool. Fine is like the one that first started this whole tool, and for this tool and some other accessories, it's a nice kit, but it's about $250, and they go up from there. This Bosch, I think, is a very comparable tool. It's probably got a little less power, it's a little less smooth. I haven't tried the blade change on the Fine, but I know it's also a similar deal where you don't need a tool. It's called tool free. When you don't need a tool, it's tool free. They also make, there's other companies that make them. Like for example, I have this one by Porter Cable. The battery's not on there, but it's an 18-volt nickel cadmium. It's got a tool-free blade change. You literally just squeeze that, and you can take the blade off. You can rotate it around. You've got to use their blades because the back has a sort of cutout on it right there. See that? So you can't use these blades, which are better in my opinion. There's just no way to slide that on there, so you're kind of stuck using their blades from Porter Cable. That's a great feature though. I like the blade lock. It's pretty slick, but it just doesn't have any power. You got to use this thing on an application where you got to get a real smooth cut, and you got to rely on it to be perfect. You can't rely on this tool. This is good to have in a pinch, but this is definitely not what a professional would use all day long when quality counts. So I have it. I use it once in a while when I'm up at a ladder and you know it's 50 feet from the ground. People can see the cut. It's great, but I wouldn't use it for everyday use. I think Rockwell makes one. DeWalt makes one. Milwaukee makes one now that it's, you know, it's similar to this one where it's got the doesn't have an 18-volt battery though. The Milwaukee one has a I think it's a 12-volt. It's a very small, thin battery. It goes right in the end, and again, not a really powerful tool. If you're doing a lot of work where precision counts and you're going to be using it a lot, you don't want to burn out, I'd stay away from the battery powered ones. Bosch makes one just like this. It literally looks just like this, I think, and it's got the battery pack in the back. Again, I would not rely on the battery ones for professional use, and I think they're more money. You know, these are, I think I paid $150 for this one about a year ago. I just got this one. I think this was about $180. It comes with this. It comes with this little index box with a bunch of stuff in there. It comes with a little bag. Not a bad little kit. But I'm really convinced that this is probably the best value for the money. And literally, once you have this tool, you will find so many different ways to use it. I kick myself every day I have this that I didn't have it 10 years ago. I don't know if I'd be richer, but I definitely would have been able to accomplish a lot more. So just to wrap this up, does this replace a skill saw? No. This is not a skill saw. It doesn't make straight cuts like a skill saw would. Does it replace a jigsaw? No. It can make a lot of the same cuts that a jigsaw would make. It makes them a lot safer. It doesn't make a lot of curved cuts. But this is definitely not going to take the place of a jigsaw, a skill saw, a router. It's a pretty slick sanding system. I like the sanding system that it comes with. It does something that a lot of sanders can't, get in the corners. The tips wear out very quickly on these sanding pads, so that's why you flip the pad every little while and you can use all three corners. I don't know why it has the holes in it because there's no dust collection system. Usually they just put the holes when it's when it has a dust collection system. Like the Festool that I have one like this in a Festool, and it actually has a dust collection system. It's great. But you have to have one of these. Even if you don't have a chop saw or table saw, some of the more basic contractor tools, you want to get one of these because this is going to let you do things that you never imagined doing.